Hello, my fellow citizens of the 7th universe. My name is PatPlayer2, if you wish to be that specific, and welcome to a little bit of a discussion video, something different than what I usually do normally on this channel. But, you know, I have these ideas, and I want to talk about them. Today's topic of the day, you probably already saw the title of it, but what if Raditz was good? What do I mean by that? There's a lot more than just what if Raditz was good. I know that a lot of other people have been talking about this. This is how I have gone up with the idea myself. And Maziko X has his own series if Raditz turned good. And there's also a bunch of fanfiction.net stories that are revolved around if Raditz was good. And I have been catching up on that. I still need to finish Maziko X's, but I've been reading a lot of fanfiction. And I wanted to put my own spin and twist into the What If Raditz Was Good series. Now, why am I talking about this? Well, I'll let you guys think about why I'm talking about this. But here we go. I'm not going to explain why, but you know, we're going to go ahead and dive deep down. So, about this. My theory about Raditz, or at least my story about Raditz being good, is something a little bit different. I'm still thinking about the normal progression of Dragon Ball, about Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super, still thinking about that, but I'm also thinking about games. As we all know about Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, there were people like Demigra, Toa, and Mira that basically messed around with the Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super storyline and made their own twists on it to make everything turn bad. Now, we had time patrollers that used to go in and fix all that stuff and everything. The timeline was perfectly fine, even if bad things happened. But if they happened in the series, it was perfectly fine. So that's how we did it. But this is my take on this. Okay, so here's my little story. You guys want to hear this? It's going to be interesting. You guys are going to have to sit down and listen to this. It's a lot of things. So think about this. Toa, Mira, Demigra, or someone has the ability to change time decides to do it. But they're trying to do something differently. Having Raditz turn good might be, or at least having Raditz not die between the battle between Goku and Piccolo. Maybe they make it so that he stays alive, but he decides to stay good. Now, that wouldn't be a bad thing. Everyone would be like, oh, it's another fighter. That basically means all the sagas are basically a tad bit easier for everybody because now they have an extra body on the field. They have another fighter that they can do everything with. But think about this. Maybe they changed something good for something incredibly worse down the line. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, because now Raditz is a fighter and Raditz helps out with everybody. Maybe something else happens where the enemies have a new fighter in like a new form or something that they've never been able to do before. And because Raditz is now there, other things are triggering. Now, we talked about this. The Dragon Ball series has talked about this in the past when it comes with it's like a butterfly effect. That's what we're talking about. Something happens in the series which triggers other things that normally wouldn't happen. One thing that the Abridged has actually talked about it, where Trunks goes into the future, goes into the past, and then he finds out about 16, but he knew nothing about 16 or 19 or 20. So he's thinking that changing the past has caused a butterfly effect. So having Raditz change the past might make a butterfly effect where things will happen. Now, my butterfly effect that I want to talk about that's been in my ideas is a butterfly effect that doesn't happen right away. Raditz is now there. Raditz is fighting with Goku and Piccolo. Piccolo doesn't do his special beam cannon attack, or Raditz, like, you know, instead of getting hit in the chest, he gets hit in the arm, and he's basically out of commission. Actually, you'd probably say the leg. Leg would probably be a lot worse. He gets hit in the leg. Yay, he's out for commission, but he knows that Vegeta and Apple are coming to Earth, and they're just gonna kill everybody, even Raditz. So Raditz is like, well, I have to basically fight back if I don't want to die here. And he stays with Goku and Piccolo, Gohan, and the rest of the Z Warriors to fight Raditz and Nappa and Vegeta. Now, Raditz could be really good right off the bat, be like a really, really nice guy and just be like, yeah, I got you guys. Or he could still be the Saiyan prick that he always is, and he's just like, well, maybe I don't want to do that, and I'm just going to kill you all anyways. Like, do stuff like that. But Raditz could be still a good guy, but he could be like the Vegeta tsundere type thing where he's just like, he's still mean. Or he could actually have the Goku side where he's actually happy because he's actually Goku. Now, the butterfly effect that I was thinking of doesn't actually even come during the Frieza saga. Frieza saga, something could happen where maybe something will happen where Captain Ginyu, instead of training bodies with Goku, trains his bodies with Raditz, which then trades bodies with Goku, which then their bodies are all mixed up, and then you have to like basically switch each other out in order to get each other's bodies back, or maybe use the Dragon Balls to do that. That could be possible. But that's not the big thing. They're just basically evening it out so that it's basically the same storyline, just with Raditz in it. Now, what I was thinking of is in the Android Cell saga. We know of a character that just came out in Dragon Ball FighterZ that's been talked about a lot, and she's also my babe, Android 21. Android 21 was a employee of the Red Ribbon Army, and then got tested on and made into a android Majin hybrid that just likes eating people and has like a really evil side. What if, because Raditz is now there, it's causing a butterfly effect where Dr. Gero, during the time of making all of these androids, finds out there's another fighter, and he doesn't think 17, 18, and 16 are going to be enough to fight these guys, so he also makes Android 21. Now, Android 21, she does have her Majin side, so while she does have her Majin side where she transforms, so while she's getting, made into an android, Dr. Gero could find the resting place of Majin Buu. He is on Earth right now, and he could find the resting place of Majin Buu and take a sample of that and put it into Android 21. Maybe he doesn't know exactly what it is. Maybe he's just like, wow, these are random sightings that I'm seeing, but they're wicked powerful, so I'm just going to put it into Android 21 and see what happens. Android 21 could volunteer to do this. She could be forced to do it. She could be, maybe she convinced herself that she should do it because Dr. Gero is about to becoming like, he's on the brink of a discovery, and Android 21 is the perfect specimen / body for it. So she agrees to do it. We don't know. I still would have to figure that out. But Android 21 then becomes Android 21, might have the evil side, might have the good side and the evil side, just like in FighterZ. But then what happens during that? Android 21 now is there, and she could show up right after Cell's beaten. Like, Gohan does his like Super Saiyan 2 stuff, and then he's completely out of commission. Raditz is still there because Goku did instant transmission and brought him out. But then Android 21 comes in right before Cell is defeated, and she absorbs Cell. It could be something like that, and all of a sudden they have that, and Raditz is there to try to stop it, and he's able to go Super Saiyan 2 to stop it. Who knows? There's a lot of things that could happen because of this butterfly effect. Maybe there's another Majin that's actually roaming around too. Maybe like the bad version of Android 21's roaming around with Kid Buu, and there's like a lot of stuff happening. There could be things too where Raditz's butterfly effect changes it because when he goes into the God, I'm just rambling off at this point, but if he goes into the God scenes where, the God Destruction arc where Beerus is fighting Goku with Super Saiyan God, maybe because Raditz has a tail, he doesn't go into Super Saiyan God. Maybe he still goes off and does the Super Saiyan 4 transformations. There is a lot of stuff that could potentially be branching out and making it into a big, humongous butterfly effect because Raditz is there. Raditz could be doing something completely different. He could just be there. He could just be a fighter. He could just do stuff. But because he's there, other things are also happening that wouldn't happen normally. We've talked about this, like I said before, in original Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super. There's a lot of things when it comes with butterfly effects. Something happens in one timeline. Something completely different happens. In Xenoverse 2, especially, they make it so that one person is a tad bit stronger than the other. Completely different stuff happens. Or, Beerus is a tad bit angrier. All of a sudden, Goku has to go God even earlier and, force himself to do things. There's a lot of things that could change just because Raditz is currently standing in that timeline. Now, are there time patrollers that are going to try to stop Raditz because he is endangering the timeline? That's another thing on top of it. Now, why the heck am I talking about this stuff? Why am I talking about this giant story that I could just thought of on the top of my head? Why am I all of a sudden talking about like I'm a Raditz fanboy? Well, I am not going to go ahead and tell you guys yet. I'm not going to tell you guys why I'm doing that. It's a lot that I have to still think about first before I can announce anything. But let's just say something big might happen to the channel. It might happen to my storylines. Might happen to something. But for right now, I'm not going to announce anything. Just know something big is going to happen if everything goes out the way I want to. Something big is going to happen. And Raditz is the main part of it. So yeah, it's gonna be quite interesting. So let me know, guys, if Raditz was good, or if Raditz was still alive, what butterfly changes do you think would happen? Like, we're not just talking like the linear Dragon Ball Z series. Will other things show up? Where other stuff happen? Will Bardock show up in the same time because they both know about their dad? Will Bardock come? Well, that means a new Planet Vegeta. Would that mean a Broly coming in earlier? Who knows? Maybe Broly died in the destruction of the planet Vegeta, not canonly, I would say. And now that Planet Vegeta is back, he's back. Who knows? What do you guys think? But I do want to say thank you guys for joining once again. Thank you for listening to my ramblings. And, yeah, this is going to be quite interesting if everything works out the way I want to. And I hope you guys will join me in that journey. Especially, I think it would be really cool. But on that note, I'm going to say thank you guys for joining once again, and I'll be seeing you later.